Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you, and welcome to our music topic for today, where we're going to be talking about a very famous and very well respected artist from America who helped shape modern American music. And his name is Bob Dylan. I was recently telling you guys about Bob Dylan, and I told you to listen to a couple of his songs. And I hope after today's lesson, if you haven't listened to them, that you'll try to find some of his songs on YouTube, and you'll be delighted hearing the cool folk music and the interesting lyrics and poems. But I've included a couple of his song lyrics in today's article, so I really hope that you guys will like listening to Bob Dylan and hearing some of his poems. So let's get started. I think a good idea for today is to start with the vocabulary so that when I read the article after the vocab, you might be able to understand the article a little bit easier. So I'm going to start with the vocabulary and let's see how it goes, okay? All right, so we have 5 vocab words today, and let's just go over them very quickly, and then we'll start reading. So our first vocab word is controversy. Controversy. Controversy means prolonged public disagreement or heated discussion. So a controversy is something bad that happened. There's also the word controversial, which is the word in today's article, which is something that happened which many people disagree with, or it creates an argument or strong discussion. Number 2 is the word compelling. Compelling. And this means to evoke interest, attention, or admiration in a powerfully irresistible way. Means like you just love it no matter what. You can't control how much you love or admire something or someone. And compelling is connected to the music that Bob Dylan creates. We'll see that in the article. Number 3 is the word vagabond. Have you ever heard of this word before? Vagabond. It's a noun, and it's a person who wanders from place to place without a home or a job. These days, we sometimes call these people homeless, but a vagabond has a more kind of legendary feeling to it. A vagabond is a wanderer, someone who goes from place to place, and he's mysterious and he's cool, and he makes a legacy or a legend. Number 4 is the word advocate. Advocate. And this is a person who publicly supports or recommends a particular cause or policy. In the article, we will talk about Bob Dylan was an advocate of the civil rights movement. It means he supported the civil rights movement. And number 5 is the word accolades. An accolade is an award or a privilege granted as a special honor or as an acknowledgement of merit. Basically, an accolade is an award or a prize. We're going to talk about Bob Dylan winning the Nobel Peace Prize, and that is an accolade. That's an award, an accolade. All right, those are our 5 words, and let's start reading about Bob Dylan. Okay, the title is simply called Bob Dylan, and I'll start reading. In 2016, Bob Dylan won the Nobel Peace Prize in Literature, and it created a lot of controversy. The previous time an American won the Nobel in Literature happened in 1997, and it went to an African American woman named Toni Morrison for her beautifully written and compelling novels. Bob Dylan won his Nobel Prize for his songwriting. This is the first time that a songwriter had ever won a Nobel Prize in literature. For this essay, we are going to look at the legacy of Bob Dylan and why he was awarded the Nobel Prize, and also why he became so famous. Let's start with a little bit of history. Bob Dylan grew up in Minnesota and moved to New York at the age of 19 by hopping on a freight train like a vagabond. He made some music in New York and released 2 albums by 1963. In New York, he met Joan Boaz, who was a famous folk musician and part of the protest movement and civil rights movement. Bob Dylan could find great fame by playing concerts and live shows alongside Joan Boaz, as well as joining in protests with Martin Luther King Jr. and marching on Washington, D.C. to advocate for civil rights and protest the war in Vietnam. His famous song, "The Times They Are A-Changin'," was a rallying call to people to stop being so traditional and to progress. The most famous part of that song goes like this: "Come, mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and daughters are beyond your command." This song inspired many of the younger generation to stand up and protest against the government for what they believed in. Then, Dylan changed a little bit. Instead of continuing his protesting, he became more and more famous. His music genre changed little by little. He started out just with his acoustic guitar and voice. He then evolved into an electric guitar. He got a drummer, and he started to become more rock and roll. Many of his original fans called him a traitor for changing his style. But for Dylan, he said, "All I'd ever done was sing songs that were dead straight and expressed powerful new realities." He came to be considered pop music. But it wasn't because he was chasing after popularity or the desire to be famous. It was just that his music and lyrics were so good that all other musicians followed his style, and it became what pop music turned into. Then Bob Dylan entered his older age, and he has received massive international accolades. He won many Grammy Awards. This is the award for music. He won an Oscar for making the song to the film Things Have Changed. And he won the Pulitzer Prize for poetry. The Pulitzer Prize is the book award. In 2012, President Barack Obama awarded Dylan the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest honor in the United States. And finally, in 2016, he received the Nobel Prize in Literature, the first musician ever to do so. The jury on the Nobel panel said that he created new poetic forms of expression within the great American song tradition. You would think that after a long legacy of making music that he would retire, but you would be wrong. He is in his 80s and still making music. In 2020, he released a new album and still goes on tour and performs live shows about 5 nights a week. If I were to recommend a few songs for anyone to listen to, "The Times They Are A-Changin'," "Like a Rolling Stone," "Make You Feel My Love," and "Blowin' in the Wind." I hope his music continues to inspire new musicians and keeps the heart of American songwriting in popular culture for a long time to come. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you liked the article. I hope you learned a little bit about Bob Dylan. When I was researching and reading why Bob Dylan was so inspiring and inspirational, how he became famous. It was really, really exciting. Actually, during my research, I discovered that there's some mystery behind Bob Dylan. Once he went on a tour to play at different cities across the United States, and he got into a motorcycle accident, and I think he hurt his arm. And so in the town where he got the motorcycle accident, he stayed in that town for several months. And he didn't talk to any of the public. He was in hiding, recovering. Hopefully his arm was recovering. But it was really mysterious because he was really famous at that time. And many people wanted to know what's going on with Bob Dylan. What's he doing? What's happening? But he wouldn't say anything to the public. And suddenly, after months of hiding, he came back and his music style was very different. Many people wondered what happened during those months in hiding. Who did he talk to? Who did he meet? What created this new style of music that he was playing? So I thought that was an interesting mystery that's kind of behind the Bob Dylan story. So his early life, we learned he was part of the civil rights movement. A lot of his songs were political. A lot of his songs were protesting the government, the war in Vietnam, and a lot of his songs were trying to make a big change in America. But as he got more and more famous, he stopped doing the political songs. He stopped doing the protest and the civil rights music, and he was changing into more of a pop musician. And he wrote more love songs, more songs about like American life, American culture, and things like that. I just want to read one more time from the song "The Times They Are Changing," and I actually want to look up the full lyrics to show you guys. Let me just find the lyrics online. Here they are. Okay. So I really like these. I really like this song. It's a really nice song. It has a good rhythm. And this part I like a lot. It's a little bit political, but I really like the feeling. It says, come here, listen. Come, senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Means please listen. Don't stand in the doorway. Don't block up the hall. For he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside is raging. Will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing. Basically what he's saying is politicians, stop preventing progress. There's a battle outside. People are charged up. They want change. Don't block change from happening. And he made this song in, I don't know, the 1960s? Yeah, 1964. But this song and this meaning, it has such a powerful meaning even today. A lot of politicians and a lot of people in the government want to stop change from happening. They want to go back. They want to be more traditional or more conservative. But many of the new generation, they want change. They want progress. And so Bob Dylan was saying, politicians, if you try to stop the change, like you will fall down, you will be left behind, like you can't keep up. So the times are changing, so you have to change too. I think it's an interesting message. I really want you guys to listen to the song. It's very cool. All right, let's do the discussion questions, and then that'll be all for today. So discussion question number 1 says, what genre of music are you most interested in and why? Number 2 says, did you listen to any of Bob Dylan's music? And if you did, what did you think? Did you like it or not, and why? Question number 3. Do you think music has the power to change people's way of thinking? Do you think music is powerful? Can people change their way of thinking? For example, like protesting or changing their thoughts about politics or religion or something? Basically, what I'm asking is, do you think music is powerful? Number 4, are there any musicians like Bob Dylan in your country? So, listening to Bob Dylan's story, listening to his music, do you think there is a musician in your country that has a kind of similar story or a similar style? Okay, and number 5 says, what are some songs you would recommend that I listen to? I'm always willing to try out new music, and I'd love to hear what you guys are listening to and what you guys would recommend. So, what are some songs you would recommend that I listen to? And I will listen to them, and I'll let you know what I think. Okay, that's all for today's class, you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please make sure to send me your answers, and I'll be sure to get back to you with my responses, and we can chat about it the next time we talk. Okay, goodbye, everyone. See you.